Everyone. Today we'll talking about array in C programming. Array are one of the most useful topic in C, especially when we need to store and manage a multiple value in a program. Let's get started. So now we move to our second slide. That is, what is an array? An array is a group of value of the same type stored together. Use one name. It's like a list of items kept in a line. You can also call it container, all of them having the same type like integers or float. We can access a many value using a position number call in C. Index started from 0. For example, an array can store marks of 5 students easily. Now we move on third slide. That is why we use array. Instead of creating 5 different variables to store 5 marks, that is so complex, we use just one array. Just make our work easy and take a less time. This make our code shorter and cleaner. Array help us to handle multiple values easily, especially when used with loops. Without array, repeating a code become a harder and taking more space. Now let's we move to our further slide. Slide number 4. In this, we will discuss about declaring an array. To create an array in C, we use a data type, a name of array, the size of square bracket, for example, int number, creates an array or to store 10 integer. You can also give an initial value like int a is equal to 3, that will be value of 1 to 3. It is called initialization. Now we move on accessing array elements. Slide number 5. This slide, I have discussed that access our array element. To use the value of inside an array, we need to know their index. Remember, the first element index is 0, the second number has index 1, and so on. For example, a is equal to 0 gives the first value, and a bracket 2 gives the third. This makes it easy to get display any items. Now we move on for the slide number 6, that is updating an array element. We can also change the value of any elements using its index. For example, a is equal to 0, 50. We'll set the first element to 50. We can also take input using the scanf like scanf percentage d and modulo d and n percent a to store a user input in the second position. Now we move in slide number 7. Array with loops. How array work with loops. Array work really well with loops. To take an input from elements, we can use a loop that run from 0 to size -1. Same on the print value. This avoids repeating similar code. This is one of the reasons arrays are also powerful in C programming. Now we move on. Slide number 8. That is our last slide, here in which we discuss about types of array, real life examples. So there are different types of array. The most common is one dimensional like a list, two-dimensional array like a table with a row and column. For example, in a matrix, multiple dimensional array are rare but useful in special cases. Some real life example. Let's take an example. If I want to store mark of 5 students and find their total, I can store them in array and use a loop to add all values. This saves time and keep the program short and clean. It is a real use case you will see in C programming. The whole PPT conclusion is array help us to store and work with a multiple values using a one variable. They are very helpful in logical building and often asked in programming questions. Thank you for listening.